Hi everyone, my name is Vishal Singh and I'll be teaching you chess today. So in the previous class, we completed N Passion, we learned everything about it and we also started with creating a check. So we'll be continuing that today and hopefully we'll finish that today. Alright, so I'll share my screen now. Okay, so I told you about this puzzle in the previous video, but I'll do it again as well. So you cannot attack from b6. You cannot take your queen to b6. You cannot take your queen to e3 and attack from here. The simple reason being these two blocks e3 and b6 are under the attack range of the knight. So as soon as you take your queen over there, the knight will capture your queen. So it's not a good move to play. The only good move to play over here would be queen to h3. Why? Because then the queen can diagonally threaten the king, basically creating a check. Cool. Alright. So now, yeah, this is a new one. So you are again playing as white here, so you need to attack the king. Now, how does you've only been given a bishop? How does a bishop move? Only, sorry, only diagonally. Am I right? So there are only two possible ways we can attack the king here. One from here, another one from here. So let's say we play, just a second. Let's say we play our bishop to g6. What would happen then? Would that be a good move? Pause the video, think, and then come back. Let's try. No, right? You have to look out for the opponent's pieces as well. So as soon as you play bishop to g6, the rook will simply capture your bishop. So that's not a good move. The only other option left being why, because the bishop can only move diagonally. So our king can only be attacked diagonally as well. So the only option being left bishop to b5. So it can directly then give a check to the king. Okay, next one. Now over here you're playing as white again. Let's see, are there any possible ways that we can, give a check to the king in one move? Okay, so the king is in a black box and we've been given the bishop which is in a white box. So is it possible to give a check to the king using our white bishop? No, right? A white bishop in a white box can never possibly threaten a king which is in a black box. So using the bishop is out of the option. So let's see if the playing knight to d5 will do no good. Playing it to b5 will do no good. Playing it to a4 and a2 will also do no good. Playing at b1 and d1 are absolutely helpless, nothing over there. And playing at e2 and e4 will also do us no good. None of the move, even if I play one move anywhere using the knight, it will still not give it a check. Can we give a check using this pawn? No. Why? Because the pawn can only threaten and attack diagonally. So playing it ahead will do no good to us. So the only option left being is this pawn here at d2. If we were to let this pawn sprint and let it move two blocks in a single move, yeah, then we can directly threaten the king. Why? Because this pawn will then be supported by the pawn at e3. Simple. This is how you find the opening, see what piece you can use and how you can use. Once you have an objective like to threaten the king, giving it a check, then you look at your pieces, look at the opponent's pieces, see how those pieces can move, where they can move, and find an opening in a similar manner I just told you. Okay, so here you have been only given a knight. And you need to threaten the king in one move, give it a check in one move. Playing it to d7 will do no good. Playing it to e6 and e4 will do absolutely no good. Playing it to d3 and b3 will do no good. Neither will playing it to a4 and a6 will do no good either. But playing it to b6, will that can possibly give it a check, give king a check. Why? Because the knight can jump over the pieces and attacks in an L-shaped manner. So if a knight is at b6, it does form a L shape. See, right? So the correct move would be knight to b7. Okay, moving on. Okay, here you have been given a queen and a rook. Do you think playing your queen to e7 would be a good move? Let's see what happens. No, right? Completely a waste of move. Playing your rook to g7 would be a good move. Please think before you answer and then come back. Pause the video and then come back. See, this is also no good either. So, what can you do? Since the rook can only attack in straight lines, most of the eighth rank, like all of the eighth rank, is basically the attack range of the rook at the moment. Okay, and if you want to attack the king, you can either attack using your rook and move it to b8. Why? Because your queen will be directly supporting the rook at b8. So that would be a good move, completely fine move. But a better move would be to get your queen to b8. Why? This would be an absolutely fine move and an acceptable answer. But why would bringing your queen over there would be even better? Why? Because the rook can only attack in straight line. So this will be the attack range of the rook once it is over here. So the king has an option to go over here or here. But what if we bring a queen over here? The queen can then cover more area. See? So the king will then only have the option to go even further. So that is why if you have a choice, always get your queen closer to the king. That would make it easier for you to complete the checkmate. Okay, moving on. Okay, this is an interesting one. This is a last simple puzzle. Then we will move on to the hard ones. Okay. Here, you can get your rook to c7, but that would do no good. Why? Because the knight will capture your rook. The block c7 is under the attack range of the knight, so that would do no good. You have to give it a check in one move. Remember. So playing your rook over here at e2 will again do no good. Why? Because there's the rook in your own rook in between, so that would do no good. You can play your queen to h4, but that would result in your queen getting captured by the rook again. So that is again a bad move. Then playing your queen over here will do no good because we have to give a check to the king in one move. So again, this is completely useless. And so the only what okay, I've given you all the options that I want to before I reveal the answer. Pause the video, think of all the options that comes to your head, and then come back and take the video. Okay. So the answer to this is quite simple. It is actually called an discover check. So basically, the king is under the attack range, is not currently under the attack range of the queen, but if you remove your piece that is blocking your path, the knight is blocking the path of the queen in order to threaten the king, in order to give it a check. So if you remove your knight out of the way, it will automatically will be a check there. Got it? Quite simple. So this is what a discovered check is called. Now, suppose if you were to get your knight over here at c3, and then it is a direct check to the king. What does the king then do? Can it avoid the check? I mean, can the opponent king ignore the check? You cannot ignore a check, right? You have to deal with the check. So as soon as you play your knight to c3, that will be a direct check to the king. Then the king has to move out of the way. And if your knight is here at c3, then you can directly capture the enemy knight. So that is how you can utilize a discover check in a efficient manner. Because this usually the discover check are not, caught in the eye. It's unseen. It's like right under your nose and you do not know. If you utilize them efficiently, you can literally change the game. Okay. So this was what a discover check is. There is a piece that is blocking the path. As soon as you take that piece out of the way, it is automatically a check. See. Perfect. Okay. So that was all for today. We only completed the simple puzzles, but that's absolutely fine. I went into detail, and I hope you guys learned something. And in the next video, we'll be covering the hard puzzles, the actual game situations, how it will be in an actual game. So hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time. Bye bye.